My name is Charles Gore. I'm the Fleet Operations and Loss Control Training Technician for the Cape May County Department of Transportation. Part of my duties include the observation and reporting of safety hazards and assessing risks. At approximately 5 p.m. on Friday, January 19, 2007, while handling a complaint from a neighbor, I noticed another open hole on the site of the remediation on Park Blvd. Now, while walking toward this hole and after sinking some 10 inches into the quicksand-like ground, I notified my parents of the continuing issue at the property and returned the next morning to take this video footage. By now it's looking pretty obvious that this fencing job is pretty much the literal definition of doing a job halfway. Barrier tape you see along this orange fencing, which into itself goes up and down and isn't level, straight, or taut, was put there by myself and the police department the last time I brought this to the attention of the contractors. This wire you see now was actually, about 10 days ago when I was here last, was actually buried under a bunch of heavy metal, 500-600 pounds worth of metal on one side of the fence, came across the fence and was still connected to the pole. At that time I cut it and pushed it aside and cleaned it up a little bit. It looks like it's been played with since. This is actually the complaint that brought me to the site to begin with. A neighbor claiming that her son's brand new basketball backboard had been run into by another one of our construction vehicles on the site. At any rate, I look at it, it doesn't appear to be completely damaged. She wants it totally replaced. I don't see a whole lot wrong with it, but that's not for me to judge. If it's this easy for my 50-year-old body to get over this fence, imagine how easy it would be for a child. Looks like a pretty inviting play area for a bunch of unattended children, doesn't it? If it weren't so serious, it would be funny after I heard one of the contractors say that, geez, well, it's sloped, on one side. Makes it easier for you to run into and get stuck. At the time this was recorded, we were approaching a high tide. Last evening when I was at this site, much of the water that you see here was not there then. And when that water is not there, the ground only looks wet, when in reality that mixture of clay and sand and gravel acts like quicksand, and you really don't know it till you're in it, up to your knees. I'm told this hole's only 4 feet deep. Okay, let's take a look at it from ground level. Ask yourself this one question. Kid gets in here somehow, possibly unconscious, 10 years of age, waist deep in muck. What's the chance somebody's going to see him, be able to help him? There is no such thing as making something totally risk-free. That's understandable. But if we had put up the fence some 10 days ago when I brought this issue up previously, we wouldn't be having the conversation now. The whole concept here is to protect the neighborhood children from getting hurt or even worse. Let's not do it on the cheap. Put the proper fencing up around the property the way it should have been done in the first place.